Also though, here's some of the Dan Hooker files real quick. Like look at what it says on the bottom. That says bussy. I mean, Dan Hooker likes bussy is crazy work. It's absolutely crazy work that Dan Hooker likes bussy, if true. Let's get to it. Let's get to the Dan Hooker files. Here it is. All right, a stripper and Dan Hooker's former mistress just exposed him for allegedly cheating on his wife with her and claimed they only broke up because Hooker allegedly cheated on her with a man. So here's the main quote. Yes, he is married. When I met him, I was working at the booty club. He was just a client. This was like 2023, around the time Dan Hooker started getting those egregious tattoos. They're not egregious, but it was a whole switch up. He took me out of the club, Captain Save-A-Ho, right? So he started paying for my life completely and utterly. Had all of his cards on my Apple Pay. Crazy work, Dan. Paid for my rent in 2 different countries. Everything. I tried to leave this man so many times, but he'd always get me back with something new and shiny. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new bag. So yes, he paid a lot. To the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list every time he cheated on me. So I started looking on his phone every time, like trying to find a new bitch, a new problem so I could get a new bag, right? Until I found out it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed because no. And then I got abused from that, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, he is married and me and her get along fine. Dan Hooker got those tattoos because he was in love with that bitch. And I knew it. All right. Girls will make you do some crazy things. I'm just going to say, that's just my opinion. But around 2023, they started dating. That's about the time that Dan Hooker got his first tattoo. All right. When everyone was joking around saying midlife crisis, no, homie was just fucking a baddie on the side. And I don't blame him. I don't hold no, ill will towards Dan for stepping out on his wife and doing his thing. Like, listen, that's his business. Would I hate him if he was gay? No, but that is crazy work. That is crazy. We just have to admit and acknowledge that if Dan is gay and this is true, now I don't dislike Dan or I won't hate Dan, but I would be completely and utterly shocked. I would find that to be insane. Just an insane revelation, if I could just say it like that. I would find it to be an insane revelation. Would I think Dan's insane in the membrane? No, he's fucking gay. Millions of people are gay, and they're normal, I guess you could say. But, Dan, not I guess you could say, millions of people are gay and they're normal, completely normal. I was more so thinking about the trans, but I know some of you guys are going to be like, no, they're not normal, but that's okay. Anyway, let's watch the video. I lost my train of thought with that whole thing. It would just be crazy that
a lot
Dan
of people
is
are
gay.
not
That's what I was trying to
understanding.
say. It would be crazy. But, he could be gay all he wants. Him and Jeff Molina. Shout out to Jeff Molina. The moment you've all been waiting for.
What a lot of people are not understanding here is that, yes, he is married. And when I met him, I was working in the booty club. He was just like a client, at the time. This was 2023. And he took me out the club, Captain Save-A-Ho, right? Loves that shit. He loves a OF girl. He loves a ripper. He loves Captain Save-A-Ho. So, yeah, he started paying for my life completely and utterly, had all his cards on my Apple Pay, paid for my rent in 2 different countries, everything. I tried to leave this man so many fucking times, but he'd always get me back with something shiny and new. Every time he cheated on me, he'd buy me a new bag. So, yes, he played up a lot, to the point where I had a wish list on my phone that was shared with him on iCloud. So every time he'd do something, he had to buy something off the wish list every time he cheated on me, right? And I kind of started looking on his phone every time, trying to find a new bitch, a new problem so I could get a new bag, right? Until I found out that it was a man. When I seen the man, everything changed because, no. And then I got abused from that. But we're not going to get into that. But yes, he was married. Is married. And me and her get along fine. It's fine. It's a lot of people, you don't really know this, but pretty much there's a lot of fucking guys that if they have money and status, they'll be married and then they'll have their girlfriend. All right. It's just the way of life, and it's not a way of life I would ever do again. Learned my lesson. Shit, if you're married, never hit me up ever. I'm never doing that again. And also, it was a lot of convincing for me to even get to that position of dating. I was 22 when I met him. He was 34, and like having someone like pay all this money and like get you out of like what you were doing for work and like all these things. Like the manipulation tactics were gorgeous, amazing, stunning. He ate that up, but yeah, I would not recommend that. And if you want to say, oh, you were just a side piece, yes and no. But I don't think that excuses the abuse and everything that I had to go through just because of the way that the relationship is set up. Like, I don't know if you guys have traveled much around the world, but in like Muslim cultures, you can have like 3 wives. In Vietnam, 3 wives. Like, if you have enough money, you can have what you want, all right? And honestly, he's a fucking handful. Like, if I would hate to date him without him being married, because bitch, 24/7, no. And also, I want to mention there was a girl before me. He dated a girl for 3 years before me and played the fuck up on her too, and a girl before that, and now there's another girl after. Like, it's like, he is a piece of shit. I took what I could out of the situation, but cheating on me with a man, kidnapping me.
Kidnapping you. No, what it sounds like, she's like, I wasn't really the side hoe, I kind of was. What that sounds like to me is that Dan obviously like kicking it with her way more than his wife. He's committed to his wife and his daughter, and they live together, and he probably still bangs her too. But this is the one he goes and kicks it with all day long. And then he comes home to his wife. So Dan was living the life, having two chicks. But yeah, that's it from her. That's her story. There's more. She released the Dan Hooker files, like I said. We can take a look at some more of them. But we're gonna peep her story, but I'll just give you guys a little sneak preview. Here's a post. She says, this the guy y'all look up to. I got cheated on with a man. That's why I broke up with him, crying, laughing. Here's what the messages say. They say like it's like 6'3" Kiwi swingers dot co dot nz. I'll make sure I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. Oh my gosh. He goes, hot. When? 30 minutes? She goes, I'm busy tonight. I'll let you know. He goes, dude, I'm very horny with a big load. And then she said something. I can read it better on my where's my phone? I'll make next time worth it. Yeah, I'll make next time worth it. What else we got? Apparently, I mean, this is like, who knows what this is, but it's like his Reddit apparently. Bro, Twitter, this is why I don't usually go on Twitter. It's all laggy. Like his Reddit, gays, pegging, New Zealand swingers, New Zealand gone wild, femboys. I mean, if this is true, Dan is so fucked. People talking about the broken phone. I don't know. She don't got a new phone now. Dan ain't fucking with her now. But here's Dan's profile picture right here on the bottom. On Kiwi Swingers, chill guy AKL, Auckland, straight male, 37 from Auckland. Photo of Dan Hooker, shirtless and blonde. The whole switch up makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And also, Dan having a baby mama before her, not a baby mama, but another mistress before her. I mean, shout out to Dan, my man getting it in. A wet bussy is crazy. Her on FaceTime with him, her on FaceTime with him, holding a wet bussy. There it is right there in the corner. Here they are. So this is what I mean when I say he was kicking it with her all day, but he lived with his, baby mama. But she goes, anyways, I'm hot and healing. I hope one day he can live his truth and stop abusing women physically, financially, and mentally. So they were definitely together. I think that's without a shadow of a doubt. Do we need one more screenshot? Let's head over to IG for one more screenshot.
a lot of people are not understanding.
Here's the other screenshot, and here's also Dan's reaction. No shit, I'm gay now? Question mark. And then this is her photo of them two together on a staircase. 2 years with my DL. Of course, no one would suspect. Look at me. You know, they were definitely together. And since we're on the Dan Hooker response, he goes, "What I miss." No shit, I'm gay now. And I guess that can bring us to, let's look at the rest of the files that she leaked today on her stories. If it's still up on her stories, if not, I got it all. I got all the screenshots for you boys. Nah, they should all still be up though. Yep, they're all still up here. So let's take a look. Let's review the Dan Hooker files. Who would have thought we're getting the Epstein files, we're getting the Nick Diaz files, and now we got the Dan Hooker files in the Big 26. I mean, your secrets are not safe in the Big 26. 6'3" Kiwi, aka Izzy. Yeah, what's going on inside that gym, huh? Izzy just like saw that news, he perked up immediately. He probably called Dan ASAP to confirm. Anyway, here's actually better quality. What I was showing you earlier? This is way better quality, but you see it, right? I'll make next time worth it. I'm very horny with a big load. I mean, Dan talking wild to his girly. I'm very horny with a big load is crazy, bro. She was 22, he was 30 something. I mean, shout out to Dan. He getting it in. Nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. The whole dating profile thing. So we've been through some of these. The Reddit. So here's another one. Begging for head from a man in a mask, but having my 5'1" ass baddie as a cover up is crazy. Hashtag live your truth. So she kind of thinks that, he kept her as a cover up essentially. That's what she's insinuating here. He kept me as a cover up, but he really is stepping out on the both of us with the man. That's where he truly wants to be. Sucka 12. Guys, Sucka 12 is crazy. Dan Hooker was talking to Sucka 12. I'm in Eden Terrace. Free later tonight. I'll be in touch. Sweet. Your throat ready? Question mark. Hey, sorry, can't host till after 11 p.m. or 11:30 when everyone's asleep. You free tonight? Sorry, got a cold at moment. Damn. So I mean, to me, it looks like Dan was like, not he kept bailing on the dude. 6'3" Kiwi. Let me know if you want a repeat sometime. Yeah, next time I come, I just want to suck you off. Yes, absolutely. I'd be ready and waiting. I'll just lay back and leave you to it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll just lay back and leave you to it. I'll leave the door unlocked, walk in, I'll be hard and suck me off. Oh my goodness gracious. The planning is insane. I've never planned like this in my life. I guess you could call me an impromptu type of guy. Should I make it up as I go? I've never said I'll leave the door unlocked, walk in, I'll be hard and suck me off. Oh, that's insane, bro. That's insane. I swear, like, the older you get as a man, the crazier you fucking talk. How many old guys have we seen with like the craziest DMs caught at like baseball games and shit, talking to like their hooker like side chicks? I know you guys have seen them. She goes, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. Oh my gosh, bro. This is insane. 2 years with my DL. The bussy. She's hot and healing. She goes, if anything happens to harm me in any way, it was him. So yeah, if I end up in a suitcase somewhere, y'all know who did it. I mean, look at them here. There's no way this is AI and stuff. There's just absolutely no way this is AI. She goes, anyone that thinks this shit is fake is so dumb. And no, I'm not trying to ruin his career. He's doing that himself with his trash grappling. Oh my goodness, she fucking went at his grappling too. She knows he's a bad grappler too. That's crazy. Damn, even she knows he's a bad grappler. He's doing that himself with his trash grappling, talking about ruining his career. Oh my goodness gracious. Why does she have to low key be kind of funny? Raw Raw 188. These are different DMs, Juice Man. This is from Raw Raw 188. I'll give you guys more context. Look, so this looks like it was between her and him, but I don't know. This is just from 6'3" Kiwi. So I don't know. I think that's Dan's account. We know that's Dan's account. So I think these are her messages from Dan, saying like, I'll make sure to get you hard and suck you deep. The ones where Dan was bailing, that was with a dude. That was suck at 12. Where it's like, hey, sorry, can't host till after 11 p.m. Sorry, got a cold at the moment. That was suck at 12. That seems like it was a dude. So Dan was bailing on a dude, talking super dirty to his chick. This was him talking to his side piece, in my opinion. Oh, and she even said he paid me a lot to shut the fuck up, y'all. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. But I'm gonna assume this is from her. Unless this is her scoping out his phone. I don't know. So there's no way of telling. But I'm going to assume, I'm going to let you guys know I'm assuming this is Dan talking to her. That's my assumption. And then here's this new DM with another name, Raw 188. That's where she says, Dan's grappling is trash and that's what's ruining his career, not me. So this one says, and can we see you, please? Of course. No way the hangman is on here. I'm sure if this is fake, he will find you. Haha, trying to be low key. Had much group experience? Question mark. Damn, so she's messaging people on Dan's phone. I don't know. Oh no, this was Dan. They're saying no way the hangman is on here. I'm sure if this is fake, he will find you. They're insinuating that they're talking to a fake Dan. And then Dan responded and he said, haha, I'm trying to be low key. And then they asked Dan, had much group experience? Question mark. This is Raw 188. Some, I don't know, text messages, bless up. The face must be a crazy mental illness to cheat on you, let alone with a guy. So that seems like Dan texted her. Dan texted her about this. Must be a crazy mental illness to cheat on you, let alone with a guy. And she goes, bless up. So who knows? I mean, Dan texting her like that kind of makes it seem like she's lying. Because if Dan knows that she knows the truth, why would you text her? That would make no sense, right? That's like going and telling somebody who knows like an established fact about you that it's not an established fact. That's what I'm trying to say. If it was an established fact between the two of them, Dan wouldn't text her like this, in my opinion. So that gives, a little bit of she went through his phone, she jumped to conclusions, and maybe Dan's like, bro, I never did that shit. It could be something like that. All I can do is speculate. So that's all I'm going to do right now. But I'm not saying anything to be a fact. I'm just, giving you guys my assumptions. OMG, I had to face check. That's crazy. Hope you okay, babes. You deserve some more. Oh, or fact check. So who knows? I guess one of her friends. Yeah, OMG, I had to fact check. That's crazy. Hope you okay, babes. You deserve so much more. Oh, yeah, that is her friend. And then they looked up the dating profile. I'm an athletic guy that likes to take care of himself, clean and attractive. Interest, anal sex, cucking, dogging, double penetration, exhibitionism, group, masked. You know what I'm saying. Damn, Dan. If true, this is crazy. Unless she made this fake profile for him. Seems like a troll, bro. She goes, okay, damn, I wish I did my hair and makeup before. Here she is at a UFC event. She goes, how I feel reading Twitter comments. Ain't no coming back. Here's a little selfie she posts now. Oh, a little love letter from Dan. To my love, Keeks. I have loved you since the moment I first saw you. We have a connection that no one in the world can break. I want you in my life until we are old and gray. I love how strong you are. I have never met anyone with so much passion and fire. You are so incredible. I feel so lucky to have you. Excited to keep doing life with you. Love, Dan. Here's another one up here. Merry Xmas, Keeks. I'm so happy to be with you. I will try to be the man you deserve. A loyal, honest man who cares and takes care of you forever. Thank you so much for inviting me. Something special day. You and your loved ones. Too many more special days together. Lots of love, Dan. Damn. Wild. Here's Dan sleeping at her house. Damn, the Dan Hooker files are being released as we speak. I've been live for longer than this has been posted. I went live and this got posted like 2 minutes after it. 44 minutes ago, been posted. Been live for 46. So we're getting the exclusive on here, never before seen. You guys never seen this. Her photo or a video of her and Dan. Dan sleeping on her couch. Oh shit, she had his phone. Damn, she woke him. Wait, no, that's his phone right there. She picked it up, I think. Yeah, she just picked it up. Okay. Dan's always sleeping on couches and shit. You know how Sean Strickland always accuses Oscar Willis of being gay? Dan and Oscar had a sleepover one time. Hopefully nothing happened there. Hopefully nothing happened there. But there it is, you know, I mean, she was definitely dating Dan. Is Dan gay? Did he cheat on her with a man? I mean, I guess the world will never know. You know, Dan says it's news to him that he's gay. So we'll see what happens with that one.
This is a message for Dan Hooker, tough guy, UFC fighter, yeah. All I've seen of late is you getting your ass whooped in the cage, ass beaten up, okay? You know, years ago I wrote in my book, my autobiography, that you're a good man. But time has revealed you're a piece of shit, yep. You fucked with the wrong people. You got it? My daughter and my granddaughters deserve better. They don't deserve a piece of shit like you. Okay? You want to deal with this? You fucking come and see me face to face. If you're fucking a man. If you got anything about you, you come to see me face to face. But you ain't fucking that man. You're big talk, yeah? Big talk, big this, big tattoos, big fucking everything. Get in the cage. Most of the time, you get your ass whooped, yeah? This 59-year-old will fucking whoop your ass too, boy. You got it?